Hey guys, we are here with Billy Weiss, Lydia Sherman, and Bill Sherman, and I'm Janet Miller, and we're here to promote the one time a year annual Wellness Summit, which is Billy's flagship program. Tell us a little bit about it, and then we're going to talk to some students who are returning for the second year.
Well, it's just 2 days, as you know, of classes, interactive classes, learning the right numbers to know, learning body fat, muscle. But what we do is try to teach people how to feel good, look good, think good, right? And perform better. And we do it with learning what the right numbers to get are that we usually don't know, and how to interpret those numbers, and how to make the right decisions and be proactive about our health.
So what are the classes?
Well, I can't name them all, but there's one on heart disease. How do we reduce the risk of the #1 killer in America by 82%? There's one on cancer, the #2 killer in America, and how we can reduce that by up to 50% fairly easily. We do diabetes, weight loss, peptides, hormones, food, water, supplements.
Seriously, it's
a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of classes.
It's overwhelming, which is why I'm coming back for the 10th or 11th time.
Yeah.
So, Bill Sherman, tell us what you learned last year, or what was the most important thing you learned, and why you're coming back again.
I think that information is really powerful, and that's what we got last year. We've got a lot of information, so much, as a matter of fact, it's hard to comprehend it all. So what I'd like to do is to come back again this year and add to what we did last year. Lydia and I have been on kind of a long journey that changes lifestyle, diet, and trying to take a lot of different sources of information to determine what decisions to make. So, we listen to the doctor, we listen to Billy, we listen to podcasts, we listen to people that gives us recommendations on exercise and how to keep active. So the main thing, I think, though, is how to read the results that we get from LabCorp. And we even learned that we can go to LabCorp on our own and get tests. We don't necessarily have to go through a physician for a lot of the tests. So learning how to read the results that we get and then make practical application as a team, the two of us together, I think is really key to successes.
Does it help you also know even what questions to ask your provider?
Gives you more questions to ask. When I show up with a notebook of information, but my labs and questions, it doesn't. The doctors that I have, I respect and want to deal with them, but they look at me different than they did 4 or 5 years ago when I would just listen. And now I ask questions, specific questions, and they take more time.
Well, you're now an informed patient, right? And I think you said best at the beginning, and I'll kind of just translate or simplify, knowledge is power, right? And so now you have the knowledge to go in with the power to ask the right questions, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, which makes your care better because it's ultimately you that's got to deal with the consequences of the decisions, right?
Well, and I think that when you're talking with a provider, and you ask questions, specific questions, they're more apt to give you some options.
Yes.
And I like options. I want to know what my options are. I don't like just one answer that says this is what we're going to do. I want to understand a little bit more about if that, then this is what you expect.
Right.
And when you ask questions, they'll take the time to do that.
That's a great answer.
Well, that's where the workshop comes in handy.
Yeah.
Because you go in with an arsenal of information.
Right.
The last provider I went to wanted my notebook to make a copy of my notes.
Really?
Because that way he was looking at what I had written down, and websites. And he even recommended to one provider, check out these websites.
Okay.
Because we do get so much science and data and it's studies. He will present all these studies, and then you can take those and
the biggest takeaway for me is it's not a diet.
Correct.
This whole program is not a diet, and there's so many things that are advertised as a quick fix.
Right.
And we know what's out there right now as the quick fix. This is a journey,
Right.
which you've got a goal.
Yeah.
And you're continually reaching that.
Mm.
And so this lifestyle change and lifestyle journey totally changes inside and out.
Yeah.
And you've got the knowledge, like you've said, to do that.
So you say what you said is perfect. It's a lifestyle change. It's a journey.
Right.
How? And I know it was you had to make changes. Y'all made changes.
Big time.
How difficult is it to continue that lifestyle journey now that you've made them and you've seen the results?
It's not difficult. It becomes part of your everyday life.
We turned it into a hobby.
Gotcha.
You know,
Made it fun?
there's a lot of things that we did do recreationally. You know, I play golf, and
Right.
I don't play golf much anymore. So this is more along a distraction, a recreation, a fun thing to do together.
Right.
Because it's not easy to prepare the right food and to develop a whole food. She's not a lifestyle, not a diet.
Right.
I like the way you said that.
I love food. Well, we'll find ways to cook the foods we love
And make
the
them healthy.
healthy
Yeah.
whole way.
I love it.
And there's
Yeah.
and I saw a podcast, can't tell you who it was, but if you can read the label on it and you can't find it in your kitchen or in the grocery store, then you don't need
Yeah.
it because your body cannot do anything
It
with it.
doesn't know what it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
you know, it's all
Well,
part-
and I like the fact that y'all have said you made the changes together. And I think
Yes.
that's critical that if we can get both spouses here, it's better because what I've had in the past is maybe the wife came and she goes home and says, this is what I learned at the summit from Billy. And he says, oh, he couldn't have said that. Right. So it's better when y'all are on the same page for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that brings me back to your hormone class. I think it wasn't until I got my hormones balanced that made my relationship even better.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the goal. Like I said at the beginning, is to help people feel, think, perform better. Just have more fun together. Yeah. Or if nothing else.
It's just a really cool one time a year, and January is such a great time to sort of set some new intentions. Get your notebooks out and run with 2026 to feel happier and healthier. And then I think it's having this community is so powerful. And then it's a ripple effect to your kids, to your family members, to the whole community. Right?
Well, and you said something, Janet, that's really important. It's a good time of year because I read a statistic. I think it was, and y'all have heard this before, but it was a new one that they'd just done, I think, last year, that 98% of the people have already broken their New Year's resolutions the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet on the 10th and 11th. We give you time to get over breaking whatever it was you said, and we can start fresh there, right?
That's a good idea. Right. So
Absolutely.
we'll see you guys again
You'll be back.
January 10th and 11th with your notebooks.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I think one of the cool things for you guys too is they're going to get on the InBody. It's the very first thing we do is do a body analysis of your body. And you will see such a big difference from last year to this year,
Absolutely.
which you already know.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to January.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Now, I think the whole weight loss thing is such a huge. I don't know, do we need to say anything about how just doing the InBody and tracking that throughout the year and seeing the changes? Should we each say something about how we've trended in such
And if you want,
a great
We as
direction?
women are so trained to look at that scale. And I was confessing to Lauren, I still get on that scale. I do. I'm not splash.
don't get on that scale, Lydia. No, I'm just kidding.
I try not to, but that kind of keeps, it's not every day anymore.
Yeah, same.
But it kind of gives me a balance.
Yeah.
Because I know before I came to you, I had no clue what visceral body fat was.
Right.
And to know what mine was, and I'm not a big person.
No.
And to know what mine was, and you made a comment to me that I did not like, that you were obesely thin.
Skinny obesity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skinny obesity.
Probably what I
I'm
said.
like-
I didn't say you were. I said a lot of people.
You looked at me and stared at me like I heard it. I heard it. And I thought, that cannot be.
Yeah.
But then when I did my visceral body fat, which nobody had ever told me, visceral body fat,
Right.
your primary care is not trained in that because there's not a prescription they can run.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
Are you running, rolling?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, really?
So when I got on that the first time,
Yeah.
and it was a whopping 10,
Yeah.
that was an eye opener. And then when I came back a year or so later, maybe 12, 14 months later, it was a 4.
You mean weeks or months?
Months.
It's only 12 months now, right?
No. We started in July of 20.
Oh, you started before the summit. I got you.
Yes,
I
we
got
started
you.
in July.
Okay, that makes sense to me then.
Yeah, we had followed some of your plan. This whole Janet had shared with us some of the plan, and
Got you.
I go in and I'm a little not skeptical, but not cynical, but a little skeptical sometimes. And so I wanted to think about it and see what it would do.
Right.
So we started about 18 months ago and made a transformative kind of journey.
Right.
To the point of the calcium CAC.
Coronary artery calcium. Right.
I told my provider that I wanted that. She said, you don't need that.
Right.
And I said, I still want it.
Right.
She said, you'll have to pay for it. I said, I will pay for it.
Right.
And what they discovered was not real serious about the score itself, but they
Right.
discovered something else that's going to lead to a CT scan.
Right.
And
Just to rule things out, right? If nothing else, we can rule things out.
She wouldn't have ever seen that, and I would have gone maybe years without ever knowing that I needed to have a CT scan. So those kind of things that we ask for,
Right.
and actually have to ask 2 or 3 times before. I don't know why.
Well, just like with fasting insulin, we'll ask our provider for fasting insulin and they'll say you don't need it.
It's the same.
As you maybe
Raise your
pre-diabetic and
PSA and free PSA,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And now you said something important. I don't want to let it slip. You went from a 10,
visceral
fat of a 10 to a 4.
Before.
You said in about 12 months
It's not
or something.
12, 13 months.
Okay, I didn't know y'all had done an in-body before.
changed her health.
Oh, I mean, visceral fat
Yeah.
is the fat that kills us the quickest. It's the most dangerous
That's the
fat,
dangerous fat.
period.
Right.
So it's the fat that can be around our liver, our pancreas are the 2 most common places, but heart and lungs too.
And you can't see it from the outside.
You don't see it, and that's why we call it skinny obesity, right? You don't necessarily see it, but it's there. So yeah, changing from a 10 to a 4 is a major improvement on every marker of health there is. So be congratulated. You are no longer, since I told you you were skinny obese, I am going to tell you on camera that you are no longer skinny obese. Okay?
I want to ask you guys a question because you said you started a year and a half before you came to class last year. How did you get started? What did you do to get started with Billy?
We were not healthy, and we knew it. He had been diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome. We knew we didn't have a good lifestyle. And we were kind of, sort of, we were taking your supplements. During COVID especially, we took your protocol of vitamins, but things just weren't right. So we said, all right, we got to make a lifestyle change.
I was also taking omeprazole once a day.
For 25 years.
And so I wanted to get off of that. And I think the convincing thing for me, which had great credibility for you in the process of coming off omeprazole, your supplements, your digestive enzymes, and the thing, and the diet, the whole food check.
Right.
It wasn't a diet; it's a lifestyle.
How did you get that information? You contacted Bill because they did a one-on-one consult.
Billy said, "Do this
Our labs.
and don't give up," because I tell you, for the first 6 weeks, I
remember.
and I was taking digestive enzymes,
Probiotic.
probiotics,
The GI Protect,
GI Protect, magnesium, and the multivitamin.
vitamin D with K.
And you're off all omeprazole.
I'm off all medication.
You were on her 25 years, and now you're off.
And I'm not taking any medications of any kind. Not that I won't if I need to.
Right.
That'd be my last resort.
Right.
Cool.
So, yeah,
When I had my
that's a big thing.
coronary artery calcium score done, and I went to the doctor. My doctor said, okay, we'd like for you to see a cardiac doctor. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So he went and he took down all the vitamins I was taking and lifestyle. And he was standing there looking at me and he said, well, I would tell you what to add or change, but you're doing everything.
Right.
And he said, I would tell you to put on the statin. And he just kind of hesitated because you could tell that he knew it was not going anywhere.
Right.
And so we didn't take. When I came to the Prescription Plus here to pick up another prescription, my hormones, the girl said, you've got a prescription for a statin. We didn't fill it because we didn't think you were going to. I said, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because you've trained us in.
Well,
work.
you don't see any benefit
Right.
from it, honestly, for women. Only middle-aged men that have had a previous heart attack are really the only people in the studies. And that's 1% over, like, I think it's 5 or 7 years. So it's a very small percentage of benefit for a big risk of side effects, I think.
So back to what we said about the primary care. And once you go in with all this knowledge and you tell them, this is what we're doing, this is how we're eating, this is the supplements we're taking, this is our regular lifestyle, they're like, you're doing everything
Well,
right.
and I think that's a good point, because no matter what any of us are doing, I tell everybody, I could die of a heart attack today. You know, the risk is very low because of the things I'm doing, but it can happen, right? So there are no guarantees, but there are definitely ways that we can reduce the risk of all the major killers in America, period. And they're not hard to do.
And you feel
It's just knowing what to do, and you will feel better, and you'll look better, and you'll perform better, and you won't be skinny obese anymore.
skinny, but that was the other thing. I can tell that you're inflamed.
Yeah. Inflammation, because that's one of the biggest
Well,
problems.
it is.
And going back to what Lauren Mooney said that encouraged me about being the CEO of your own health is that when I first moved back here from LA and then from Asheville, I was trying to find new providers, and I would go to this doctor who would tell me this, and then this doctor would tell me the complete opposite. And this hormone doctor would say this, and this one would say this. So your class helped me to be the CEO of
Be able to navigate.
be able to go through the data myself, understand it, and choose what I think is best for my body.
And you got
Really-
results of that.
And I got the results
Just
at that
like that.
point. Right.
Yeah.
Right.